Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be a client's, and this is kind of crooked. This is going to be a client's love reading. We are going to be tapping into just kind of seeing, it's kind of, I'm taking this as for my client like an update or seeing what's new, like what are the energies saying for my client, what is fresh, what is new, what's going on, where are they at in love, what is happening, what should they be looking out for, that kind of thing. So I have the Psychic Tarot for the Heart, which is one of my favorite decks to use for love readings. And then I'm also going to be pulling from the Waite Tarot, which is just a basic tarot deck that I love to use. It helps me especially because I'm filming in a study room at the library. It's hard to focus sometimes because, like I said, there's in the previous reading, there's windows like right in front of me. So people walking by will see what I'm doing and they stare, and it's like people have no shame to stare. So why should I have shame doing what I'm doing in front of them? But so I try not to look up too much at them when I'm reading because then I lose track. We lock eyes and then it's like, So I apologize if I stumble with my words throughout the reading. I apologize if I get distracted. But we do what we gotta do. So because I get distracted like this easily when I'm reading in public, I brought the easiest decks for me to connect with, which are my Psychic Tarot for the Heart, and the Waite, because it's basic. They're basic decks. I love them though. So, okay. So for my love, you just want to see what comes up. I went back in the Instagram DM to see if there was an actual question, but you just want to see what's going on. So what's up with your love life? You and your lovey, how are you guys doing? So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have the cards face me so that I can see them. Pull this out more. So that I can see them easily. And I'll flip them over to show you as I talk about them. So we have joy and stability, refusing to see, new vitality, dedicated effort, embrace, third eye chakra. Okay. So intuition is telling me right off the bat that things are good, okay? What you have behind you, joy and stability, the two of you are enjoying your time together. You guys are coming from a strong, let's call that the end of that shuffle. So we have the King of Cups that flew out with the Ace of Cups behind him. Okay, so let's put you over here for a while. Okay. So joy and stability at your back. Okay, so I know it's backwards because of the video, but this is in the past. This is the core future. Okay, so in the past with joy and stability, you guys are in your recent past. You're coming from a strength. Okay, the light at the end of the tunnel. You guys are in a clear point. It's fresh. It's still new. It's loving. There's a lot of good energy around. That sacral chakra is popping up, the solar plexus chakra, which is telling me there's a lot of moments where you guys are just laughing and you're having fun, guttural laughs. Like you guys, you are having like those laughs with this lover that you don't necessarily let out with just anyone. So anyone, I'm one of those people, hence why I call myself the Cackling Moon. I have a very defined laugh, and I have a cackle when I laugh, but I only let it out with people I'm really comfortable with. So when I'm expressing myself in that way, and I'm very comfortable, the joy and stability card, my solar plexus, I let that cackle out, but only a select few people hear it. The solar plexus chakra, the sacral chakra, which is the orange one here, I'm feeling that one to show a lot of sexual energy, but it's smaller. It's smaller than the joy. So I'm feeling like the sexual energy is still there. It's very, like the two of you obviously are sexually, you're sexual, you're attracted to one another, but it's smaller. So it's making me feel like perhaps it's maybe, I don't want to say like it's completely diminished, but perhaps it has lessened a little bit, or perhaps you are experiencing yourself not having as much of intense sexual energy for your lover. That might be a little bit of, I'm not going to say it's something to worry about, but that is just something to gauge, okay? So what I'm seeing here at the core is refusing to see. Refusing to see is telling me that either there's something you're avoiding, and because I'm reading from your perspective, I don't want to read for your lover because they're not here, or they're not aware of their cards being read. But from your perspective, someone in the relationship, so it could be you most likely, but it could also be your lover, and someone's refusing to see something. There is maybe denial. There could be a topic, a conversation that you want to have, but someone's not having it. Someone's afraid to say something. Someone's refusing to see a red flag or whatever. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, but I just wanted to highlight on that to say the energy of refusing to see a situation. Be sure that if you are noticing cracks in your foundation with your lover, that you are addressing them, because these cracks do grow, okay? So the more that you are refusing to see something, it will grow and can develop into something bigger. And that's not what you want to have happen. So it's always important when you want to have successful relationships, it's always important that you address things right away, rather than letting them grow and fester and become a bigger deal than what's necessary. New vitality in the future position is telling me it's really important that you take your relationship to new levels and new experiences, that you add excitement, and that you add, color and music and love, energy and adventure in your relationship. So I see new vitality to say, don't give up on the fun things. When you two first met and you were having those late night conversations, or when you were dating and going to different places, those are the energies that I'm talking about, is bringing that back. That is how you keep a relationship spicy and new. So I'm not saying go and spend a bunch of money and constantly go on these lavish vacations, because obviously reality, we can't always afford that. And if you can, wow, I admire you. I envy you. But we can't always do that. But we can make fun little staycations at home, rather than opting out to go out with a bunch of friends. Maybe opt to stay in, just the two of you. Have a cooking night where you guys are just cooking, or you're barbecuing, or you're doing this or that. Or, add a new element into your relationship. Add a new element into the things that you guys are doing. So if you've never traveled to a different town, go to the different town and see what's there. If you've never, what else? Trying some sort of have you ever heard of those paint and sips? Or those like a purple easel, I think it is, and you go and you paint. Everyone sits in the same room and they all have the same tools, and you paint the same picture, and you're drinking wine and you're just chatting, and it's so much fun. So maybe doing something like that, add a crafty element to your relationship. But either way, new vitality is breathing newness, breathing excitement into your relationship. Okay. So what's below all of this I'm seeing here? So I'm taking the ones from the top is where you're at now, what your main focus should be. So the ones below, this is movement. This is what I'm seeing as where you take it from here. Dedicated effort. Now, dedicated effort is really important, because I'm seeing dedicated effort to reveal, especially with that refusing to see, making sure that both of you are putting enough energy and effort into your relationship. That new vitality that we were talking about, the refusing to see. You don't want to make this become a bigger situation than it needs to. So both of you are putting enough dedicated effort into your relationship. It should be balanced. It should be equal, okay? So if you're noticing that one of you is putting more energy into it than the other, then that is an indication for you that there needs to be a change, or there needs to be, and something needs to be addressed. Refusing to see, perhaps you've noticed that one of you isn't doing the things you used to do, or you're falling through with your plans, whatever it is. Make sure that you are tapping into that and you're addressing it if you notice it. the embrace card, embracing the beauty, embracing all of the energies, embracing Mother Earth and creation. And I also want to pinpoint, I don't know if you could see it in the card, but in the core here, which looks like the planet, you have Earth and you have roots growing out. To me, that's kind of showing the phase of, you know, you're really settling your roots with one another, taking your relationship to a new level. Really building that trust, that foundation between the two of you is what I'm seeing coming up. It's almost like you're starting to birth it. I love all of the different colors in the card. It makes me feel like this is like all of your chakra energies are uniting and coming together. So I do feel like this is a beautiful thing. I do see growth in your relationship. I do see advancement. And I do see taking it to another level. So I don't know your guys' situation, if you are living together or not, or if you are, you know, engaged or whatever, wherever you're at. It's hard for me to keep tabs on my clients because I have so many of you guys. But I do know that, you know, you're in a relationship. So there's growth, and that's a really good thing to think about, you know. Third eye chakra, trusting your intuition, trusting your sixth sense with this relationship, you know, trusting your vibes, it's there. A King of Cups is definitely showing he's sentimental, okay? He's very loving, he's very understanding. There's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of expressing love. So, you know, why you guys telling each other I love you, or expressing like what is on your mind, what's going on in your mind. In your heart. There's a lot of that. It's a lot of watery energy between the two of you, which is telling me that you are very much in tune with one another. And then the Magician card, making magic happen in the future position. So there's a lot of new things coming your way, lots of new creation. You guys are manifesting change. Maybe you're manifesting a home together, or you're manifesting just living together. Like I said, taking your relationship to the next phase. I see a lot of good things. So I definitely, like I said, I definitely see growth. I definitely see you taking your relationship to the next level. And, you know, when I say taking it to the next level, I don't just mean, oh, you're going to get married. You know, there's so many levels in relationship, whether it's you are trusting one another more, or that you guys got over the recent argument you had, or that you guys are paying off your debts. So it's allowing you guys some more freedom to go and do the things that you need to do. Taking your relationship to the next level doesn't have to just mean getting married or putting a ring on it. So I want to make sure I emphasize that, because my husband and I have been married 3 years now. We've been together 11, and we're always taking our relationship to a new level. We actually just took it to a new level last night while we were like having these heart-to-heart talks, and we finally like agreed on the next path that we're gonna take. We finally agreed on the next main big choice that we're gonna make as far as our foundation. So that was big for us. So there's growth in relationships. Just because you're married, just because you're boyfriend, girlfriend, or you're engaged, doesn't mean that that's the only big step you guys will ever take. There's so many more levels. So let's look into the future, because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to know. So we have the Hangman. I'm going to have them face me. So we have the Hangman. Oh, yes. The Star. And the Devil. Ooh. So I don't want you to be alarmed. Devil energy in love readings, I like to take it as, and especially because your guys' relationship, I don't see your guys' relationship as negative at all. I feel like the Devil card is saying spice it up. I do see the Devil energy to be very like kinky energy. I mean, for lack of a better word, it's daredevil. It is taking your relationship to another level in terms of sexual energy. It's about exploration. So I feel like there's a lot of that. The Star card, she's naked. I mean, you're just very comfortable with this person, your sexual energy, your guys' love life. It's good. Healing and hope, and investing new hope and healing in your relationship. That's also a big thing too, I'm seeing. Tending to it, like I said, a lot of water energy in your relationship. So I'm seeing how she's tending to the water. It's almost like she's planting flowers. She's watering her garden. So if you could see that with the star card, she's watering her garden there. So I'm taking it as just keep nourishing your relationship. Keep nourishing, what you guys have together, and it'll grow. Things will come out of it. So if you feel like you've hit a patch where maybe you guys are getting bored, or maybe you feel like, there's nothing new going on between the two of you, just know, you have to tend to it. You have to make it exciting. And hangman energy to me is also kick back a little bit. So maybe, don't be so focused on the future so much. Live in the present. I feel like that's what Spirit is saying for you. I'm going to pull some oracle. Live in the present. Stop focusing on the future. That's an intuitive message from Spirit, as normally hangman energy is a little bit different. But I'm telling you, I'm feeling the connection with you. So Spirit is definitely saying, you need to stop being so hard on yourself. Stop focusing on your future so much. You're missing out on the present moments. Maybe that's why that refusing to see card came up. Maybe it's because you are refusing to see all the goodness and greatness that you have in the present right now, versus being so focused on the future, and is marriage in the works, or is a baby in the works, or are we going to get a house, or whatever you're focused on. So definitely I feel with that too. Okay. So yeah, nurture, release, spread your wings, solar plexus. So it's really interesting to me that the solar plexus chakra came up because I was just talking about that earlier. So a lot of focusing your energy with your solar plexus, which is your joy card, okay? Not your joy card. It's your joy energy. It's here in your belly. So your gut instincts in your belly, your health, the positivity of your relationship, it's here in your belly. So if you do meditation, and if you work on chakra, if you work on chakras, meditate on the solar plexus chakra. So it is the yellow one, and it sits in your belly. And you can search for guided meditations on YouTube. So I would suggest doing that. I think that will be good for you. I think that will also help you bring in the joy. I also want to say, it's not present here, but it is with the devil. The sacral chakra, which is the orange one, that one that I was talking about earlier, which is, it sits in your abdomen area. I would point it out, but there's people browsing, and I don't want them to be like, why is she pointing at her abdomen? But the sacral chakra is your creation energy point. So this is where you create. This is for procreation, but it's also artistic expression. It's your sexual, your hormones, all of that. So those are the two chakras that are popping out for me for you. So the yellow and the orange. We have nurture and release. So nurture, I feel like it looks exactly the same as the star card. So you're being guided. If there is any message that you take from this reading, it is to keep nurturing your relationship, nurturing yourself, okay? Self-love, loving yourself. Self-confidence is attractive, so your mate will be attractive to you more, but also nurturing your relationship. If you feel like you guys have been spending too much time with everyone else, maybe it's time to cancel on plans with friends and stay in, or vice versa. Maybe you guys are bored from staying in and not doing anything different or exciting, so make plans to go out. So that's how I see nurturing. And it's also tapping into the needs of both of you. Failure to see card, that's the card that's popping up for me in my mind, the one that came up earlier in your reading. Maybe you were failing to see the needs of the other person. So make sure that you're giving enough attention there too. Release and spread your wings are kind of the same energy I'm feeling. This is releasing, letting go of doubts, letting go of the stress feelings, the worries, letting go of the need for the future in the present moment. I feel like you are very future forward. Like, I'm the same way. So this is actually like a message for me too. But if you are always focused on the future, you're missing out on your present, and you're missing out on experiencing the experiences in your present life, and you're missing out on just simply enjoying your life and where you're at right now. So I feel like I needed to say that for you. I feel like spreading your wings is being willing to take risks. You know, leaps of faith are coming up for you in the future. I feel like you're going to be, like I said, taking your steps to improving yourself, but also your relationship. And don't be afraid to take your relationship into new directions. So, yeah, what are we? How much? We have 20 minutes in. So basically, that's pretty much the message that I'm seeing here. It's very general because, you know, it was more of a like a catch-up reading, what comes through. But I feel like you're in a good place. So if you were wondering if there was anything for you to worry about, there isn't, except for just making sure that you are being aware of the needs of your significant other, as well as, you know, what is it that you guys are failing to see? What is it in your relationship that maybe you feel is starting to become a weak spot? Just remember what I said about the cracks. A small crack that you've refused to address or nurture, you know, will eventually be a bigger issue. So just keep that in mind. And so let's end your reading with just some advice. Yeah. 6 of Wands, which is the card of moving forward to good things, okay? The future. It's successes. It is people being proud of you. It's, you know, you have a lot of good things that you have accomplished. I know you finished school or something with school, like you graduated and whatnot. So really, like I said, instead of worrying about the future so much, you really need to just be in that moment where you embrace your present, and live in this fact that you spend so much time with school and you've accomplished it. So, you know, enjoy it. And then we have the throat chakra. So I love that. So throat chakra is communication, working on your communication skills, especially with the significant other. If there is topics or whatever it was that failure to see card, I'm sure it sparked something within you. You're like, oh, okay, that's what that is. Communicate. Communication is key. So I feel like that's what the throat chakra is just saying, is make sure you are always communicating with your lover. Make sure you are expressing your feelings and what's going on, and all of that. So without further ado, that basically is the gist of your love reading. Anyone who's watching, if you are interested in having your cards read regarding your love life, your relationship, yourself, your single life, your breakups, divorce, whatever, click the link below, check me out, book a reading, and I love to read for you. And to my client, I wish you all the best, and I look forward to reading for you again in the future. Take care, love. Bye.